All right, so you probably saw the news that Prigozhin is dead. His plane was shot down by the Russian Air Force defense on his way to St. Petersburg from Moscow. And the question, of course, there's still some mysteries remaining as to why he's going there. Some claims he's going to go see Putin in Valder. But regardless, what I think the situation deserves some analysis on what it reflects on Xi Jinping and his recent military purge. I think the number one issue is that it confirms to Xi Jinping that the purge in the military, especially with the Rocket Force, where he removed 2 Rocket Force generals citing anti-corruption, and then he replaced them with 1 Air Force and 1 Navy commander. What this means to Xi Jinping is that it's right for him. In fact, I think he believes this confirms his suspicion that any sort of dissent within the military could potentially give rise to a Prigozhin-like figure in China. Now, it's much harder to do that in China, but still, I think the suspicion is that it could happen. So for Xi Jinping to purge anybody in the military, right, consolidating his power, consolidating his authority, and I think it's actually a positive sign for Xi Jinping to do that. And I think it's an affirmation for him that these purges within the party, within the military, within society, is the way for him to keep his power. And it also tells him that even the closest people around Xi Jinping and also around Putin can also be his biggest adversaries. Now, Prigozhin, it's very strange why he decided to stop. Maybe he still trusts Putin to give his words to let him live. Allegedly that the plane flew to Moscow from Moscow to St. Petersburg multiple times before it was shot down today. Obviously, this is a shock because now most people, including myself, realize that at some point Prigozhin's probably going to get punished, but it happened exactly today, which is 2 months exactly actually from when that mutiny happened in June. What it tells us right now is that dictatorships, obviously, they all are in the same nature of things, where they can't stand any opposition. Any attempts to usurp their power is going to be met with a demise of the losers, right? So you either take power or you lose your life. And it also tells us one thing, which is, to most dictators, the number one priority isn't really about fighting a war. Despite what they say about invading Taiwan, their number one priority is always maintaining power, and I think that's the big reason for why Xi Jinping will view this Prigozhin situation as a very positive sign, because it affirms to him that things that has been happening, what he calls are all these sorts of security issues, right? You have or instability factors. You have the political instability. You have the ideological security issues. You have the societal security issues, economic issues. All of them. The reason like Xi Jinping's so scared of it, it's because it's actually what's destabilizing his power. Now, if you can remove those factors, then you will be ruling for life. But one thing that really you can't prevent is if you give enough of the independence to, especially something like Wagner, which has both military power as well as an independent commanding officer. And of course, in China, they're never going to let that happen. But I think once again, it's a sign to Xi Jinping that this is what needs to happen. So we can expect more purges from China, and we can expect more in-depth so-called anti-corruption investigations in the military, especially. And I think as we get closer to that 2027 date, which is when they are makes sense the most to invade Taiwan, that we'll see more shifts and shuffles within the military. And those that he is deemed disloyal will be removed, punished, and those that he thinks are showing loyalty, if they show any signs of opposition or contradiction to what she wants, they will also be swiftly removed. So I think despite this, could cause that the country can not function properly. It doesn't matter as long as they stay in power. That's all they really care about. And that's all they worry about, too. All right, that's it. Some short thoughts on what happened with Prigozhin and how it reflects with communist China. All right, see you next time. Bye-bye.